We all are here doing Ishtopdesh Swadhyay today, written by Acharya Sri Pujpad Swami. Yasya swayam swabhavapti rabhave kritsna karmanaha tasmai sanjnana rupaya namostu paramatmane namo arihantanam namo siddhanam namo airyanam नमो उवज्जायाणं नमो लोये सव्साहुणम् पंचपरमेष्ठी भगवान की जय. We all do the 9 times Namokar mantra before we start. So I have prepared this slide which is carrying 1 through 6 shlok, and if we see those shloks in one line, what those shloks are saying, right? This is going in a flow, right? In the first one, it was mentioned that Acharya is telling us that soul's true nature is inherent. It cannot be acquired from outside, right? Swayam Swabhavapti, that we can do it on our own. All right. So if it is true nature is inherent, not coming from outside, is there anything we need to do? What is our efforts? In that case, Acharya said that you have to wait for the right conditions to come. You have to have capabilities plus the right condition. Then only your true nature will come out. All right. That you still need to wait for the right conditions. All right. So that means the waiting is must. Right. If the waiting is must, then what do we do while we are waiting? Then again, Acharya said that do something good, of course. Don't get into bad habits, right? Let's say you want to become something and you know you have to wait for certain age limit or something. What you will do? You will prepare for it, right? You will go through the credits you needed for that course or something until you reach up to that age, cutoff age, right? So you are not wasting your time. Every individual who is little bit knowledgeable, who is using their wisdom, they will think that meanwhile I'm waiting, let me do something productive. Let me do something which is taking me towards the goal, right? Instead of getting into bad habits or some wrong, those illegal things, right? So I'm sure you can easily think that way. So that same thing applies in spirituality also, that our inherent nature, even though we have capabilities, right conditions are not there yet. So we all have to wait, right? So, okay, then Acharya is saying, then aim for the highest goal. Even though you have to wait and you are waiting in the shadow, right? And shadow is equivalent to heaven, for example, right? Don't just get satisfied with the heaven. He's saying aim at the highest goal. Everything smaller follows effortlessly. Same thing applies in our day to day life. If we have some bigger goal, small things happen eventually. If you are reaching out for the highest goal, if it is very hard, easy things or smaller goals achieve effortlessly, right? That again applies in our day to day life as well, right? Then um, even though we are sitting in the shadow, right? Why should we sit in the shadow? Then somebody can ask, right? What is the benefit? So they said that, because heaven's pleasures is glorious, and but it's still a passing station. Don't think this is my goal. This is not a destination. It's still a passing station. All right. Don't get off too soon. right? It's a journey of life, right? Heaven is one of the station. Don't get off. Just wait. So then, um, so somebody should not get lost into the pleasures of heaven. Then Acharya is saying, so look closer. Whatever we are saying as pleasure or happiness, no one in this realm, like in the sansar or world, right? Three worlds, no one can feel the real happiness except those acharya or sadhu. Only those people can feel the real happiness. All right. So don't get satisfied with all these pleasures, worldly pleasures, that, oh, I am so happy. I have all the pleasures, right? So that is something, again, Acharya is saying that, try, be be curious, be like voyager, right? Try to find what is the real happiness, how it feels, because whatever we are feeling is just a trishna, right? Last time that said, it's a unstoppable desires, what we are going through. We are just working on removing the pain. For example, the hunger, right? We are hungry, we got the food, we felt good, we felt relieved. Is that the real happiness? No. It was just removing the pain of hunger, right? So those are the things we are learning. Now we move on to the shlok number 7. What is in shlok 7, right? Let me share. All right. Now, um, this is in shlok 7. It is said that what is happening to us? Why are we not able to gain ourself? Why it's so difficult? When it is said that you have capability, right conditions will come, you will get it, but still you have to do a lot of efforts. Why it is so hard, right? So what is stopping us? So then Acharya is giving the answer. मोहेन संवृतं ज्ञानं स्वभावं लभते नहि मत्तः पुमान् पदार्थानां यथा मदनको द्रवैः. What that means here? Mohen means um, delusion, infatuation. Samvritam, covered in delusion, right? What is covered? Our knowledge, and our true nature is covered. Our knowledge and true nature is covered with the delusion or infatuation. That is why nahi labte means we are not able to attain, right? Just like matta puman. Matta means intoxicated person. Pumans mean people, person. Padarthanam, substances, things. Yatha madan kodrave means there is you know um, kodrave is it's a kind of a grain, all right, which can be turned into intoxicated. For example, even this alcohol is made up of wheat, for example, right? When the wheat is rotten, it turned into alcohol, with some process, proper temperature, or some proper pressure, or something like that, right? It has the capacity to get into alcohol, right? There are so many other things. Even there are grapes which can turn into, agave can turn into intoxicated substance. So what Acharya is trying to say here is that just like how deluded by infatuation, the knowing being is unable to acquire adequate knowledge of the nature of things, in the same way as a person who has lost his wits from eating intoxicating food is unable to know them properly. This example is used in Chahdala as well, right? What happens is we all are human beings, we all are beings, right? But at this point, when we are in this world, three worlds, every living being is deluded by infatuation. You can say infatuation, or you can say intoxicated, behaving like intoxicated. That might be seem very strange. Even though we did not consume alcohol or any substance, why are we intoxicated, right? And especially when Acharya is saying, so here intoxicated means uh, we all are just seeing the things with our colored glasses, right? Things are clear, but we are looking everything with our colored glasses. Either it is red or it's blue, it's green. We are all giving the names to that. So in our world, we are saying, oh, I like this, I don't like this, I like this person, I don't like this person, right? Either we are liking, disliking, attachment, aversions. That is all we are constantly doing, right? So we have no clarity of mind, right? Which is necessary for true knowledge. So our wisdom is basically covered, right? Mohen samvritam jnanam. Mohen means, mohen is basically mohniya karam, right? So mohniya karam works exactly as a intoxicated substance. Just like a person who is um, like consumed something and they don't know exactly where they are, right? Same thing, a deluded person does not know where the person is, like who the person is in reality, in with the clarity, right? Like our body is separate. We are constantly getting the body in every birth, and there is something which is fixed, like which did not change. That is us, a jeev, right? Jeev is not changing. Jeev is same in every body. That keeps changing the body as we are changing the clothes, right? So moh, mohen, mohen means mohniya karam is so powerful that it does not let us realize. That is why we easily get angry. We easily get greedy, right? Why? Because we are so much into this current life. We think this is us, but we are not realizing that we got all the relations because of the karma. We got body because of the karma. We even get the anger, we get the greed because of the karma. So those are the things needs lot of effort to understand, right? So what is exactly happening? What is veil? Veil here, veiled knowledge doesn't mean something sits on top of it. More our moh is a very intoxicated situation, right? We are not realizing who exactly we are. So moh actually transform the very nature of knowing itself. So we are seeing everything distorted, tainted, and false from within. So that is why it is not as if something is sitting on top. It's veiled because it's not letting us know the reality, or it's not letting us see the things with the clarity, right? Like intoxication, it reverses judgment. A person drunk on liquor has their intellect turns upside down. Even a skilled doctor cannot practice correctly while intoxicated. Agreed? That happens, right? We have noticed no matter how good you can drive, if you are intoxicated, your brain will stop working. What happened? What happened to your brain? It is not working, functioning properly. You are not able to think straight. That exactly the situation of covering with moh. Moh act on the mind the same way. All right. And how long does the effect remain for this moh? You will not even believe. We are covered with moh from infinite time, millions and billions of years, millions and billions of lives we have spent in this intoxicated state. We are not realizing, even if in infinite life cycle, if you become Muni Maharaj for 32 times, you will get the moksha state for sure. It is that powerful. But if we are still in this worldly teen lok, that means we have never experienced that. We are constantly in the intoxication of moh. Does it make sense? What is moh? Moh is a Hindi or Sanskrit word. Moh, that is being in delusion. You're not understanding what is right, what is wrong, or who you are. There's so many things comes under moh. You're losing your real wisdom, basically, your real knowledge. It's covering the real knowledge. As soon Mohniya Karam is gone, you get your Jnana Varniya and your Darshana Varniya is also gone. So basically, Mohniya Karam is the one which is keeping us covered, our knowledge is covered. Right? And Mohniya Karam itself is two types. One type is not letting us know who we are, and one is constantly keeping us into our emotions. Oh, that person said this. How can he say that? How can he do that to me? How can he call me this? I have to tell this. I have to say this. I have to do this. I have to become something. Constantly keeping you busy. If you notice this chatterbox in your head, it's all because of the Mohniya Karam. So that is not letting you see who you are, not letting you calm down. The real peace is within us. But we cannot even imagine that. It's hard for us to even accept that we are a peaceful being. Peace is within. You must have read this, but it's hard to experience because of moh. So it is that much hard for us. That is the biggest enemy of our well being. Nobody in the world can be as bad enemy as our Mohniya Karam itself, because you're not able to think straight. Everything you think is for this lifetime, right? Who you are, who is your parent. Oh, my parent is everything for me. Other parent is others' parents, right? Aren't they be human being? They also have the same soul inside, right? Can't we see them, everyone, with the same lenses? Why do we have to see my and their? Two different things, right? So, what Shlok 7 is teaching us today? Attachment cloud judgment for anyone, even the wise, the powerful, and the well intentioned are not immune to moh's pull. That means no matter how much um, intelligent, powerful, right, you are, doesn't matter. What matters is how much clarity you have. So, clarity matters. How clearly you can see where you are today. You are in this body. You are experiencing this life and experiencing the fruit of the karma, right? So, those are that's something we can experience only when the clarity is there. Then what we learn is sensory pleasure is not true happiness. It is only temporary counter to an inner restlessness, never lasting joy. Right? So that is also a part of the clarity, that whatever we experience in this life, it's not the true happiness. True happiness is beyond the senses. So any sensory pleasure is not true happiness, right? Then restraint, what we call sanyam, not sheer willpower or effort, is the real remedy. Sanyam is the real remedy. Moh yields to quiet self discipline, not force. So if we are in moh, right, we cannot be self disciplined. Only sanyam can bring us into self discipline, that when senses are asking something from you, oh, I want that, I want that, I want to experience that, and you say no, that is sanyam, right? And that is truly your willpower, your effort, that is your effort. When senses are asking something and you are keeping a restraint on yourself, remember that Trishna, desires of sensual pleasure will never end, because it's a Trishna, it's a never ending. Even though we feel that it's pleasure, but it's not a real pleasure, not a true happiness. So, where this taking us, Sanyam can take us to the self discipline, right? And what feels like restriction from outside is often protection, boundaries placed out of care, can look like denial in the moment, right? So when we see someone is putting some restraining on their sensual pleasures, we feel, oh, there's so much restrictions. It just feels. For example, someday you might be deciding to visit temple, for example, and when your other friends and all are going to have fun, right? From outside, it feels like, oh, look at this person. He's not enjoying life and going to temple because maybe parents asked, or maybe he doesn't want to have fun, right? But the person who is going to temple, right? He is thinking that today I am controlling on my, sensory pleasure. I am listening to my inner peace. I'm not following my senses today. For a few hours, I'm just keeping a boundary. So we do learn the boundaries in in the world, that, oh, I don't like this, so this is my boundary. It should not be crossed, right? So boundaries are the protection, agreed. But we should have some boundaries for our soul as well. And what boundaries are there? That we do few things in that boundary, that we give some attention to our soul as well. Okay? First, we give some attention. When we give attention, what soul needs? Soul is always in a peace. So then, if we are giving attention to soul, that means we are not giving attention to outer world, right? And when we are not giving the attention to outer world, that seems like a restriction from outside, right? So clarity again is needed. Even if we are visiting to the temple, we should have a clarity why we are going there, because we want to give the attention to our soul, our inner being. We have 24 by 7, but how much time are we giving to ourself, right? Sorry, there was just dryness. Real self knowledge starts when we stop confusing what is truly ours with what is only borrowed for a while. So, this is also come with some reflection, right? The real self knowledge starts when we stop confusing. First of all, we use this word so much, ours, mine, right? We say, this is my body, my wealth, my relation, है ना? And here it is said, this is borrowed. So it might be confusing, but our goal is not to be confused. Our goal is to, because we are learning something spiritual side, right? And in the spiritual realm, there are two things, soul and body, right? When we see the with the glasses of spirituality, we see two things, right? When you must have said this, oh, I cannot handle this pain anymore, right? Who is not handling the pain anymore? Have you ever thought that? That means there are two things. I cannot handle this anymore. Who is saying this? I cannot handle, right? So, real self knowledge starts when we stop confusing. So, we should know clearly what is ours and what is borrowed for a while, which is temporary, we can say. All right. Um, that is very interesting. There is a story comes in our Puran, our scriptures. You know Ram and Lakshman? Who knows Ram and Lakshman? Have you heard this Ram and Lakshman? Sita, Ram, Lakshman. Have you heard this story? No one heard this name? Just say
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I believe Ram was like a Balbhadra, right? So in the
Balbhadra.
story, yeah.
True, true. Very
Hmm.
nice. Anybody else? Anika, Ashna, and Sarah? Have you heard?
Yeah, I've heard about it before.
Okay. Ashna and Sarah?
I'm actually not too familiar.
Not too familiar.
Yeah.
Okay. That this is
Yeah, I have heard of it.
heard of it. Okay. This is kind of a very popular story. Very, very popular story throughout India. All right. Not even just India, outside India as well. Ram and Lakshman were two brothers. All right. And Ram and Lakshman both are like considered very special people in Jain scriptures. All right. And Ram is considered with clarity, which is called, Sanskrit name is Samyak Drashti. When you have a clarity of who you are, that is called Samyak Drashti. All right. So Ram was a Samyak Drashti. He had the inner quality, clarity. Even then, what happened? He loved Lakshman, his younger brother, so much that when Lakshman passed away, Ram got so sad with his deep attachment that he said, no, I don't accept that he's died. You all are lying. I refuse to accept my brother is gone. And you won't believe he took his corpse, on his back for 6 months. He reached to every possible place. Like, he's asking even the river, he's asking every stone, can you make him awake? He was that crazy. He got that crazy,
Wow.
totally intoxicated. Can you imagine how powerful this intoxication can be? This is the effect of this moh. That's the example Acharya is trying to give us. with the story of Ram and Lakshman, that even the person who is so popular, so uh, full of wisdom, even Ram attained moksha once he realized his mistake. He became Muni, he took Diksha and sat down so strongly that he attained moksha. But before that, he was behaving like, as a crazy person because of the moh. So delusion, even a great and virtuous soul, is not beyond moh's reach. Delusion can distort perception regardless of one's character. Right? So it is very, very important that we don't take it so easy. We should compare ourselves where Ram is. Then some Dev came and they made sure that he come out of this intoxication. It was very, very important. So they've helped him to come out of it. Otherwise, he was just totally going crazy. 6 months, can you imagine keeping the corpse on his back, right? So, yeah, we can go over the story sometime. It's a very beautiful story, actually, that makes us realize how karma can take revenge or how karma give the fruit, and how we have to be strong and focused on our well-being, you know. Another story comes is Bharat Chakravarti and Bahubali. They were brother, you know, and they were a son of Adinath Bhagwan. Okay, you can imagine our first Tirthankar Adinath Bhagwan, right? And Chakravarti itself is the emperor or king of the whole three world universe cup emperor, right? Not whole three world, actually, sorry. Chakravarti is the whole Bharat Kshetra, right? So he got into so much ego that I am strongest, everybody should bow down to me. His own brother Bahubali refused, and he totally forgot that he's my brother, right? And he hurled his divine that chakra. He had a weapon that was miraculous. That is because of the chakra. He's called Chakravarti, and it is like a divine weapon. Why divine weapon? Because that works like you just imagine, like in your mind, that you want to kill the other person, and this chakra will go and fulfill that wish and come back on your finger. You must have seen that in the Krishna or Vishnu sometime, like some circular thing on the finger. If not, I'll share in the group. That is the chakra weapon. And it is so powerful, and it does not ever lose its target. It kills the target and comes back and stays quietly on the finger. The only condition this chakra has followed is it will not kill the family member. But out of the ego, out of the frustration, Bharat Chakravarti forgot that chakra has this limitation, and he shoot that weapon on Bahubali. Of course, that was not going to work on Bahubali. So that came back. And because of this fight and all this thing happened, Bahubali thought that what is the point of, this kingdom and all this wealth? And he just left everything, you know. He felt so sad inside, the reality of the world, the effect of the moh, because greed itself, ego itself is a part of moh. It was so desperate to kill the brother. It shoot the weapon which cannot come back without killing. Regardless, means he forgot that it does not work on the family. But at that time, he forgot out of moh, right? That's such a strong moh. Even though, again, Bharat Chakravarti was also Samyak Drishti. He had the full clarity. Even then, moh did not leave him. So his ego, he forgot what is righteous thing he should be doing. That is another thing that Bharat Chakravarti and Bahubali attained moksha from their same birth, from the same life, right? So these people, great people, whom we are reading the stories and learning from them, but small events of their life are depicting that more it can be so strong. You can see how crazy we see people for each other, right? Whether it's right now you must be seeing friends, you might be seeing love of a mother and a child, right? They can do anything for each other. Some brother, sisters, they can do anything for each other. They can even, if they have to give up on their life, they will do that. That's just the craziness of Moh. All right. So, this is something Acharya is trying to make us aware. Another one incident also it's saying, hungry boy asked his mother for kheer. Mother has made it, but she tells him to wash up first and then let it cool a little before eating. Boy protests. Why I cannot eat? Right? He's feeling very like, oh, mom doesn't want me to eat. Right? So he started thinking, oh, mom knows how much I like kheer. Why she doesn't letting me eat kheer right away? Right? So all she said, okay, I want you to wash up first and eat slowly. Right? So he eats it slowly, a little at time as it cools, and only then he realizes that if he would have eaten before, when it was straight off the stove, he would have burnt his mouth, right? So the mom's restraining was never a denial of his happiness. It was there to protect him all along. So even though it's such a small incident and might be happening in your world, right? When someone, your well-wisher, is trying to put some restriction on you, it's not to take away your happiness, it's in fact to protect you, right? Same thing, Acharya is trying to ask us, right, that we need to keep ourselves in discipline. More can make us totally distorted, right? So this is living in a restraint is not to take away our happiness, it is to protect us, right? In today's world, you won't believe like how much people are just want to live the life with independence. They don't like any kind of restriction, any kind of responsibility, which is taking them totally undisciplined, you know. Instant, everything should happen instant, everything has to have constant changes. So all this is taking away their patience. Is this good or bad? If you are losing your patience, you might lose your temper easily, right? So keeping the patience, having the responsibilities, all are teaching us some great lessons. If we cannot take responsibilities, that means we cannot take responsibility of our soul itself. If we are running away from responsibilities, right? So these small practices in day-to-day life is not to take away your happiness or your fun, but to make you disciplined so that you can take responsibility of your own soul, right? If you will not take, who will take it? Think about it. Is there anybody else who will take care of your soul? Not even your body. Your body will leave you here. Body will remain here. So it is our responsibility to understand who we are and how can we reduce this moh? How can we reduce this delusion what we have? The more and more we understand the nature or the reality of this world, the true happiness or it's a delusion or it's fake, the more and more we understand, the more veil of this delusion will come down. All right. So that is the benefit of what we are learning. At least we know that where we are wrong or what we need to fix. All right. So that is all for today. Is there any question or maybe any part which I was not able to explain it well?
Yeah, a quick question on the Mohaniya karma. There's
Yes.
two types, right?
Yes.
Could you just quickly go over those? I'm still a little bit
Okay.
confused on them.
No worries. So two types of Mohaniya karma is one is Darshan Mohaniya and one
Hmm.
is Charitra Mohaniya. All right.
Hmm.
Darshan means incorrect belief system.
Hmm.
All right. So which is distorting the belief. That is Darshan Mohaniya. And
Okay.
Charitra is our conduct, how we are behaving. Are we behaving based on our passions,
Hmm.
our emotions, right? Or we are behaving out of the clarity.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one has more to do with belief and the other one has more to do with just how you carry out your life.
Yes.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay.
Yes. And those anger, krodh, man, maya, lobh, right?
Yeah,
Anger, ego, greed, and what else? Pride,
pride. Yeah.
right? These four. Either we are behaving out of these four or we are behaving from the clarity.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So that's it for today. Let's do 9 times Namakar mantra. Any other question? So feel free if you have any question, you can always write in the group. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do 9 times Namakar mantra. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Hind. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.
Sure.